Today's episode of Fantasy Fiction is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audibletrial.com/fantasyfiction.
Over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Kindle, MP3 player, or Magic Stone.
Today we're recommending A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. Impress your friends with real-life magic. Act like you read a long book without any actual reading.
Think of all the masturbating you'll get done.
So if you're enjoying the show, give the free trial a chance. That's audibletrial.com/fantasyfiction. Enjoy the episode. Reese's, put down that merc monk.
But he's my friend.
In the land of fantasy and the fields of fiction, there rode two knights across the plains. Two thieves of the night, two warriors of honor, in the shadow of the mountain cry their name. Fantasy fiction. Until the deed is done. Fantasy fiction. Until the quest is won. Fantasy fiction. The battle's in our minds. Fantasy fiction. Until the end of time.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Fantasy Fiction, the show where two people tell stories.
True story.
True story.
You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
You remember that show?
Do you remember when reality TV hit its like real boom?
Oh, yeah.
And then MTV kept running like packages that were like, we had the first reality show.
Yeah, they were real
like,
butthurt about it.
Yeah, they were kind of upset about it.
They were like super butthurt.
They're like, oh, nobody's watching our stuff anymore.
I remember it was like what was it, like 99 or 2000, 2001 maybe. I just remember there being all these shows all of a sudden and people like swallowing them up just they're sucking the dick of reality TV like all day.
I think it was Flavor of Love that was like the first one that everyone talked about.
I remember my friend was like, have you seen Survivor? And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, well, I guess that's the thing, that's where I separate it, is that there's mainstream reality, which is Survivor and stuff like that.
Right.
And Big Brother. And then there's like the trashier ones that are produced on the cable channels.
Mary Ellis Bunham, that's the producers who do like The Real World, and then I think they did like 16 and Pregnant and all that shit.
Oh, God. Point cameras at the sadness.
Yep. Yep.
But we have on this show right now, which is reality.
This is a reality TV show about a wizard world.
True story. Our episode today is about hammers and
Doppelgangers.
Oh my God! Doppelgangers was submitted by Mr. Sleeves, and Hammers was suggested by Hey Dingus. So thank you guys.
Oh, what a good name!
I got to talk about the thing we did this week.
Oh my God! Well, we both did like the same thing. I don't want to oversell this. It's the best movie I've seen in 20 years.
It's the greatest of all time. It is the greatest movie-going experience I've ever had.
Yeah, it's incredible. I don't really know what else to say about it.
After we record this and after I edit and post it, I'm going to see it again.
Dude, I saw it twice. I saw it on Friday, and then I saw it on Sunday with Luke. And
oh man,
yeah.
Oh man, I wish I could have gone to a matinee with you guys to that. That would be fun.
Dude, I just like, I don't know. I would see it a third time. I would go again.
It's so good. If you like this show at all, if you're listening to this show and hate it, I don't know why you're listening, but
just turn it off.
Turn it off. Do yourself a favor. But go ahead and see Mad Max. It's incredible. Fury Road. It's so good. So good.
I don't want to like oversell us,
but when I will.
But when I went and saw it the first time, with our friend Mike. And when, like, certain things started to happen in the movie, I just leaned over and I was like, this is fucking fantasy fiction. I was like, this is the fucking fantasy fiction in the movie. Like,
well, did you know that the film, its storyboards were drawn before a script was made? So
yeah.
George Miller wanted to make a movie that was one continuous chase.
Yeah.
I think he used about 6 artists and had 3,500 boards before a script was actually made there.
There's a lot of cool things about this. I guess it's a movie franchise now because they're gonna make a sequel.
Tom Hardy signed on for 2 more.
Yeah. So, which is usually like you're like, oh great, here we go. But apparently they had like all this time because it got delayed making the first one that they wrote all of them. So they're like written already.
Oh my God.
Which is
awesome.
Pretty awesome. That doesn't happen a lot now. So,
no, it happens never. I thought these type of movies were long dead.
Yeah.
Good movies. No.
Yeah. No, dude, seriously.
Ex Machina was the other good movie, but that's it.
I don't know how we're going to watch movies. I don't know how I'm going to go. Like, I don't...
CG, dude. I've always hated too much CG, and now I'm spoiled, man. Well, 80% of the movie was practical effects, or just done real.
It's it reminded me of being little, and because when I was a little kid, I loved Mad Max. I mean, it's basically like fast cars porno, you know? And,
yeah.
I mean, it's incredible. I don't know what else to. I don't know.
Well, hey, I saw one other movie that I absolutely loved, and I had never seen it. In fact, I had avoided seeing this film for a long time because I thought that everyone hyped it up and it wasn't really good.
Titanic.
It's Titanic. It's so good. No, it's The Emperor's New Groove, Josh.
You were texting me the other night, and
I want you to watch it. Have you seen it?
No. Is it on Netflix?
It's on Netflix,
all right.
Josh.
All right, I'll watch it tonight.
Listen to me. Listen to what I'm saying. Hunchback of Notre Dame, Pocahontas, Hercules.
Yeah.
These are other films by Disney
Yes.
that came out in this time.
Same time, yeah.
They all blow.
Yeah, Hercules sucks.
The gags are so good.
Yeah. I'll have to watch
Kronk steals the show. Kronk, the character Kronk.
He's voiced by Putty, right? Like,
What's that guy's real name?
Shit. Warburton? Something Warburton?
Patrick Warburton.
Patrick Warburton.
Steals the show. Clearly the dumbest, most fun character to write gags for.
Yeah.
And I would guess the board team and the writers just had a ton of fun with him because he's so funny. He's in the movie a lot.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be in the movie that much. But he is, and it's awesome. It's so good. Josh, watch it tonight. I'm going to go see Mad Max again. You watch Emperor's New Groove.
I want to go see Mad Max.
Yeah, you gotta. You better.
Third time's the charm for when it gets...
Baby. That's... I'll throw that in there.
We haven't done a baby in a while.
We haven't had a baby in a while. But we're about to have 2 of them.
Speak for yourself.
One baby of Daranos, one baby of Orkspire. Mad Max is like a graphic novel. Like, you watch a graphic novel. That's what you're watching. The art design, I
wanted to talk about my theory. I wanted to tell you my theory. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone. It's still a relatively new movie. But the plot of the movie, in my opinion, the path that they take, I think is about the film industry. I'm going to write a thesis.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, all right, just fast forward. It's not a big spoiler, but just fast forward like 2 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, look for the timestamp.
Yeah.
No, you can't look for the timestamp, I guess, but go ahead and click until you hear music or just Josh talking, and not about this, about something else.
Just know when to go.
You'll know. Okay, Josh, we've given them enough time. Go ahead.
So, you know how they start out at the Citadel or whatever, and then they basically just, it's a linear path. They just drive through until they're trying to get to the Greenland, right? They call it the Greenland. My theory is that it's George Miller, basically saying like, hey, why don't you make movies like this? Because the Greenland is like, maybe it could be money, or maybe it's like greener pastures. And when they get there, there's nothing, right? There's like, it's just nothing. and they say, well, you drove through it, you know? So I think it's George Miller being like, make movies like they used to be made.
You know, I can totally see that, Josh, because they drive through
And it's all
the
shitty.
old Greenland,
Yeah.
and it's shit, dude.
Yep, it's mud.
shit. It sucks a dick.
Yep.
It's all blue.
And the real Greenland is where they came from. Like,
Yeah.
Just
that's
go
where
back to
movies
that.
came from. Hey,
Yeah.
let's go back there. You can't go back. You want to know why? Because computer graphics live there now. There's a goddamn Shrek jerking off a CG donkey, and that's movies.
the goddamn Optimus Prime is doing a backflip onto the moon and transforming into 18 different things. He's got 75 different swords. One of the swords is a fucking gun. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and they use scenes from other movies. They just CG over them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
It's craziness.
I hate it.
But, and then what does he say, Josh? What does he say? He says, oh my God, here I am. I'm back where movies should be made.
Yep.
And it's a mess. And he's like, I got to go back to where movies really came from.
Yeah. He was like, why don't you just go do this? Go.
We got to drive back. Oh my God. That movie rules. I'm so stoked I'm about to see it again.
Dude, I'm so fucking jealous. I mean, I could just go to the movies, but you know, I don't know.
Hey, I think your theories. I think it's a good theory. I support it.
Oh, thank you. I was making a sandwich and I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Well, we know the overall theme though. The big theme, right?
Yes.
Is feminism.
Right. Yes.
It's a super important movie, I think, for a lot of reasons.
Oh yeah.
Because it's 80% real or practical effects, and I think that the reaction to the film totally shows the importance of that.
Yeah.
And also, that topic is super relevant. And the theme isn't super heavy, I don't think, but it's blatant.
Well,
and I think anyone who sees this movie, which a lot of people will see it, and I think that's why it's kind of like a super important movie right now.
That's how they used to make movies. They used to have things in the plot that fit the theme of the movie. It's unbelievable to think that they used to make every movie like this.
Yeah, they used to have like something to say, you know?
Every movie used to make sense in its own right, but now we're so, I think, accustomed to seeing just garbage. I don't know.
You know what? 2 more minutes of movie talk, and I'm going to throw this out there to you, Josh.
This whole podcast could be about it. I don't care.
The more I think about Avengers 2,
the
more I dislike it. I
haven't seen it.
Such a boring time.
Yeah.
And I think the reason is Iron Man, awesome movie. Mm-hmm. Awesome movie.
Yes.
And it asks the question, Josh. It asks the question, why did America make so many weapons that bad guys have?
Right.
And then it resolves it by killing the bad guy. But no, I mean, it has something to say, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And so did Captain America 2, Winter Soldier, I think, was a super important movie for the same reason. It was good because it asked the question, why are we monitoring everything that we do? It's about the NSA. I mean, it's basically about NSA security and what happens because of that.
Right.
Avengers asks the question, what if the Hulk and Iron Man made some bad robot and then made a better robot? Avengers 2 sucks, okay? And that doesn't mean it's a bad movie. I just had a terrible time.
Well, the first Avengers was like a party, right? Like it was like, here's all the characters. And then, but you can't do that right away again.
I don't think it's a bad movie.
Right.
I just had a terrible time, and I think it also suffers from being cut down. Also, not every movie needs to be 3 hours long. How about that?
Yeah.
But there is a scene where Thor takes a bath. They don't tell you anything about that. Thor kind of explains it later, but you don't see any of it.
Right.
And it really suffers in that respect.
Yeah.
But again, Avengers, you can have a movie where it's just big action, having fun, but when you have a super relevant theme and just an awesome sequence that is just continuous, it's they pump the brakes once when the truck actually stops.
Yeah, but
then they rev it back up.
When the truck stops and like the girls are like like drinking water and stuff, I laughed. I was like, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
Because it's so, like, the dichotomy of what's happening is so ridiculous.
How about that little blunderbuss handgun?
Oh, yeah.
Hilarious gag.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, hey, let's get into it here. We've given our fair share of opinion. Now you're going to hear
Facts.
some fantasy in your face.
You're going to hear some facts.
Brap.
Brap, brap.
Let's get into it.
Doppelgangers. All right, Dom, are you ready for my story this week?
I am ready.
My story this week is called The Morgasm.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm trying to get
A morgasm?
when I'm seeing Mad Max 2.
Dude, you'll have one. I had fucking 3 orgasms.
By the way, I just call movies, like if I see it a second time,
Yeah.
it's Mad Max 2. Be like, well, when I saw Mad Max 2, be like, what? Be like, well, the second time
The second time I saw it, yeah.
It's just the way I say it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the parlance. That's how you speak now. In a cold, mountainous, and snow-covered region of Daranos where nobody has ever gotten laid, sat a broken old tower so ancient that it now looked like a flaccid dick.
Yo.
All around the tower lay the bones of thousands of warriors who, over the eons, have tried to conquer this land. All died in horrible pain as this tower was once home to a deadly and vile wizard. Rumor has it that he was so deadly that thinking about him naked caused deadly bite-itis to occur 30 years after picturing his evil dong, and then you just drop dead instantly. So everyone who just pictured it, good luck in 30 years, you dong imagining preverts.
You brought this on yourself. You heard the tale.
Then you had to picture it with your mind. You had to think about it.
Don't think about his dick.
Yeah. Stop. Quit it.
It's like, don't think about elephants.
Yeah. Don't look at the circle. The circle game where you do the thing and then you get punched.
Gotta look. Gotta see what's in that side.
Yeah,
of the circle.
Gotta know. Could be an old wizard dick.
I want to see it.
But since then, time has taken a bat to this place like it did to your mama's titties. And a new resident has moved in. His name, Morgo the Mildly Unpleasant.
Oh, no.
Inside the tower, there was a small apartment covered in all the trappings a mediocre 724th nationally ranked wizard would have. Like Crow Grow, a magic dust that makes crows grow out of the ground for some reason. Or roller hates, which are just roller skates, but they shoot fire out of them. Those are actually kind of cool.
Those sound pretty cool.
Morgo was blow-drying his beard with his all-sea blow-dryer and wearing nothing but a towel, just having taken a shower and getting ready for bed. In the background, Reese's the Wise's late-night talk show was playing. If you just pictured his dick, it's okay. His dick isn't cursed. Or is it?
A classic
Or is it?
mechanism for leaving a cliffhanger. People do not know.
I like leaving a cliffhanger to something that's completely unimportant. Just tangential to anything happening.
Just gonna leave it open. Hey, you never know when you're gonna come back to that.
It's called universe building, people.
Get with it or get out
Get out.
of my life.
And be a simple kind of wizard. Or be like something cool like a dragon or an elfman or a man lizard. He sang to himself. Then he leaned over the sink and started to blow snot out of his gross wizard nose for like an uncomfortable amount of time, like my dad used to do every morning. Like, I think you got it, dude, you know? Or maybe just go to a doctor. I mean, come on. I'm trying to quietly masturbate in my room secretly.
And now you can't masturbate without having someone blow their nose in the
Yeah.
next room.
Fucking dude, my dad. All right, my dad used to like walk around the house nude all the time. I don't know if your dad did this.
No, my dad did not walk around the house.
My dad did not give a fuck. What's going on with my dad? Like, who thinks whatever?
I don't know what to say.
Well, if you just pictured
This
my dad's.
explains a lot of Daranos.
Maybe I need to go to a therapist. Anyway.
Oh man.
Suddenly, a knock came at the door. Morgo was startled. Who would be knocking on my door at this hour? And who could even knock on the door? It's located 34 stories up, and there are no stairs. And who even knows where I live? Oh well, I guess I'll answer it so the audience will know who is there, and we can lay this mystery to rest once and for all. Morgo.
Fucking answer the door. He's gonna leave.
Morgo said as he put his crazy wizard hair up in a towel to dry. As Morgo opened the door, he almost collapsed with pee fear. There it stood, a floating black apparition who looked exactly like Morgo himself.
Oh, what?
Morgo, said the apparition. It is I, Shadow Morgo, here to train you in the ways of evil wizardry. For too long have you wasted your powers and terrible singing voice. Under my tutelage, you will become most vile. Morgo was too scared to think straight, and while he was standing there, his towel fell off. Shadow Morgo was unfazed, having seen his own dick many, many times. If you think about how many times you've seen your own dick in your life, it's like 1,000,000 times.
Hey, you know what, Josh?
Yeah.
I wanna talk about this with you, but we did this weird thing again.
What did we do? Oh, we did. Oh, really?
Yeah, we did a couple weird things already.
Oh, wow, that's so weird, man.
Yeah, so just keep telling the story. People will get it. People,
All right.
Stick around for my story this time, folks.
Dude,
right.
this time, they turn off the podcast. Whatever.
Or will I? Tell it. Will I?
Question marks. You can't be me, said regular Morgo. I am you. To prove it, say the thing you most hate in this world. 1, 2, 3. Simultaneously, both Morgo and Shadow Morgo said, Late night with Reese's the Wise. As they looked over at the all-see ball, Reese's was doing stand-up. And what's the deal with teleportation, Peanuts? I'm in, said Morgo. Suddenly, both Morgos were in a beautiful lagoon full of green plants and all kinds of animals. They looked over some tall bushes, and there lay a beautiful natural spring full of the hottest comely maidens anyone's dick has ever seen. The maidens did not notice the two wizards. All right, Shadow Morgo said. Are you ready? Regular Morgo nodded. Suddenly, Shadow Morgo shouted from deep within his evil bosom, Cannonball! As both he and regular Morgo did the sickest cannonballs into the lagoon. The maidens were shocked and raced to cover up their awesome boobs from sight, but you got to see some of them. Oh, I saw some.
Oh, I saw some. I saw 3.
I saw 3 titties. Suddenly, a comely centaur drew her bow and arrow and aimed it straight at the wizards. Who dares to defile the sacred bathing place of Clan Fallopiana? You will never take us alive, evil wizards, she finished. The Morgos just laughed. Fools, Shadow Morgo said. We are truly evil wizards and seek only to sow chaos. Then both Morgos let out the nastiest farts ever unleashed. All the fish in the lagoon rose to the surface dead as the water began to boil from the stench. Sweet Elvin Jesus, said the centaur, who wasn't shy about showing her boobs. Regular Morgo let out another fart he'd been saving since the magic dinosaur times, but this time, instead, he got more than he bargained for. The water of the lagoon slowly turned brown as the comely maidens began to throw up and scream in terror. One troll maiden in the background said, I ain't even mad.
This is a ridiculous story. Not that the others haven't been ridiculous. This is just, I just want to say, this is a ridiculous story.
It's canon, man.
It's canon.
Then the water turned red, then black, then yellow polka dots, then brown again. They shit our hot tub, screamed the centaur. Live free or die hard, shouted Shadow Morgo as the two wizards ran off into the forest. Soon they arrived at a small village on the outskirts of the forest. From outside, they could see a fine community, great for raising kids. Y'all ready for this? Shadow Morgo asked as he strapped on his roller skates and skated around while he whipped out his wand and began zapping people in the village's asses with lightning spells. Morgo zapped a maiden, and her skirt flew right up while a skeleton walking by said, "Hello," as he got a peep and then immediately got zapped in the face, causing him to go blind. Years later, he would confess to his grand skele-children that it was, quote, totally worth it, and that booty had me like, whoa. Then he would die, those being his last words.
I wanna edit this. I want the skeleton to, instead of saying hello, he says hello.
Hello.
Because it had him like whoa. Okay.
Good job. I should have done.
Great job, guys.
The fanny torture went on for several hours. Everyone in town was moaning with pain and rubbing their butts. Finally, the mayor of the town begged, "Gentlemen, please! We can't take any more! Have mercy!" The wizard stopped. Shadow Morgo stood in the town square atop a fountain. "Your wretched town has experienced true evil and survived the crucible of the coccyx. As a reward, I leave you with this," he finished, then ripped the second most nastiest fart ever. People began to die and vomit and choke on their vomit and die. In the background, that one comely maiden said, "I still ain't even mad." The fart was so loud that deep in the forest, a merc monk swung open his door to a tree home. "Some people have to work in the morning, you know?" He shouted, but as he breathed in the fart, his lungs instantly liquefied, killing him slowly and painfully, and definitely permanently.
Oh my god! The Merc Monk is dead?
The camera slowly panned down from the tree to reveal a small pumpkin house. Its door swung open to reveal a fur beetle wearing a Robin Hood hat. "Hey y'all, I just moved in and would really appreciate it if y'all could just keep it down. I'm not trying to cause any waves, but I think we can all be real neighborly. If y'all need anything, just give me a knock. Again, sorry to get upset. Okay, back to making cakes all day. Good night." Then he closed his adorable pumpkin door.
You know what? I'm not mad. I ain't even mad.
Sometimes you just gotta move on to another character. Morgo and Shadow Morgo skipped out of the village holding hands while Queen's best friend played. "You are now ready to take the final step to becoming evil," Shadow Morgo said. "You are ready to face a just and honorable warrior, but are you ready to defeat him?" Suddenly, a hero riding a blazing stallion rode over the horizon holding a mallet made out of pure sapphire. Regular Morgo didn't waste a moment and got out his wand. The adventurer dismounted and swung his hammer, missing Morgo. Morgo thought quickly and mustered up all his strength. "I give up," he said. The adventurer lowered his hammer. "You are a failure," Shadow Morgo said. "I am ashamed to even have your likeness. I hope you choke on a bag full of rotten dicks. When you were born, the apothecary should have slapped your mother. You are the creed of wizards." With that, Shadow Morgo began to walk away. Regular Morgo was ashamed. The adventurer was confused. "Hey, Shadow Morgo," said Regular Morgo. "Live free or die hard," he said, and then he slit Shadow Morgo's throat.
Oh, man.
"Holy shit," the adventurer said. "That was cold-blooded. From now on, I will be known as Morgo, cold as ice. You are free to go, adventurer. I let thee live so you may tell my tale. Tell others what you have seen here. The adventurer turned to walk away, shaking his head and whispering, damn. Hey, adventurer, Morgo said. I lied. And then he slit the adventurer's throat.
Oh,
Finn.
Oh, what?
Finn, he's fucking cold as ice. He's
it's
evil as
over?
shit. He's evil as shit now.
I don't want to cross Morgo's path or Dark Morgo's path for that matter, or his ghost's path.
Or Dark Morgo's ghosts. It just started like ghosts of ghosts.
Josh, what happened? Did the Merc Monk ask for too much money?
Yeah, we had to write him out of the show. He wanted $14 million.
Yeah, that's too much. That's too much, honestly.
And I don't have that.
Are you familiar with this character from Grey's Anatomy who like left the show?
No.
And the writers were pissed
Yeah.
that he was leaving the show. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But they killed him off. They
Yeah.
wrote him off, and he had like a horrible death,
Super death.
apparently, so that there was no way he could come back.
I think that's like really funny when TV shows do that.
Yeah.
I think it's great that people get really butthurt about stuff. It's really funny when people
Yeah.
get really upset about
Yeah. It's kind of really hilarious.
It's pretty good. Yeah, well, that's what happened to Merc Monk. He's, he's done.
May he live on in our memories.
He died pretty bad. Liquefying your lungs is a pretty shitty way to die.
Pretty sad way to go. Great story, though. Great
Thank
story.
you. Thanks.
Josh, are you ready for my tale of hammers and doppelgangers?
I'm fucking ready.
The title of this story is Wrestling Wizards of Orkspire.
Yes.
It was a hot Saturday night in Orkspire as the sun was scorching and the fighting was fucking on. The land of Orkspire recently adopted the Western calendar to provide less confusion for the audience. Hence the Saturday night, I said. But, as I was saying, it was fight night, and the arena was packed. The great Thule was wrestling Koldor, the not as huge, who was a large wrestler, but not as huge as some of the others. He was like your friend who works out on the reg. Koldor was a rock man, who also went by the alias Little Boulder Boy.
That's a great wrestling name.
Little Boulder Boy.
Little Boulder Boy. Just flows.
The great Thule, on the other hand, was one huge individual with a thick black beard and long unkempt hair and a bandana pulled across his forehead that read, "Life Pain."
I think we could all relate to that bandana.
I don't know what that means. I just wrote it and laughed. So. Thule was from a clan of humans that admired the mountains so much that they said goodbye to the rest of their people and moved into them. Over the years, the people adapted to the mountains' difficulties and evolved into a new race of taller, more hardened men with cougars as house cats. It was crazy.
Dude, I want to live there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, man.
Beards became a necessity, and patchy faces went extinct.
Patchy faces.
To the rest of Orkspire, these people were known as the Mountain Men.
Oh, yeah.
"Nobody's almost as huge as I am," shouted Koldor as he threw a punch into Thule's face. The Mountain Man's jaw absorbed the blow and sent its kinetic energy down his neck, through his arm, and into a slow, burning wag of his taped-up finger. No. Thule pulled his arm back and slapped him with his calloused hot dog thick fingers and sent Coldor tumbling into the crowd. And that would feel like a car accident to the face of you and I.
Dude, that was really, really beautifully described. I just want to say, that was beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you.
That was great.
Thank you. This was one of my hardest stories to get done. I don't know why, but
so far, it's fucking radical.
Thank you. The crowd pushed Coldor back into the ring toward the great Thule as they chanted his name. "Slap him with your big-ass finger again!" shouted a gnome who had one of those giant foam fingers he was just waiting to slap somebody with. Thule charged at the rock man with a clothesline that sent him flat. The mountain man bounced off the ropes and leapt into the air, dropping his massive leg onto Coldor's head. Just before it hit, Coldor's life flashed before his eyes. He saw himself as a young boulder on the beach. Then, 2 orcs were having sex on him. Then, as a middle-aged boulder in the rain, with a boner drawn on him. Then, finally, forming into a rock man from boulder form. "Coldor ready for big wrestling match," said Coldor as he walked 3 feet to the right and into the ring where Thule was standing. Flash back to reality in time for Coldor's head.
Holy shit.
In time for Coldor's rock head exploding from the impact from the leg drop. The crowd lost their shit. "Oh, my golden rings, yes!" screamed the gnome with the giant foam finger. He had been a fan since he saw the great Thule defeat Malmanix, the wizard, by successfully chokeslamming him into the pit of snake. They could only afford one.
Gotta start somewhere, man.
It was sad to some people, though, because some snake got felled on.
You write that? That's how you write. That's brilliant.
The announcer shouted, "Orcs and other types of people, here's your winner, the great Thule."
Yes.
Thule punched his fists into the air and yelled, "All who stand in Thule's way shall crumble metaphorically. I can't promise that they will always fall apart after every match."
Yeah, it's just,
The crowd went wildest ass west. Wrestling was huge in Orkspire. The land's thirst for combat was regularly quenched by live wrestling events. People all over would patiently await tell of championship exchanges in the various territories, such as the Dick Hugit Productions, which dominated southern Orkspire. After the crowd got tired from yelling and went home, Thule met with the booker. "Here's your prize for winning the match, Thule," said the elf as he handed the mountain man a sack of gold and jewels. "And thanks for killing that other guy. Now I don't have to pay him." "Anyone who stands in Thule's way of getting paid shall suffer,"
Dude.
said the mountain man as he gripped his winnings.
Fuck
"Money is good," continued Thule. "Money is life good."
Dude, I can relate to Thule.
I think we all can. You know what? That's a good main character, someone you can project yourself onto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did it.
You did. I did it. That's good writing.
And that's how you write a story, folks.
See you next week.
Continue.
The mountain man packed up his things and headed east toward a wrestling tournament hosted by a rich dwarf known as the Hammer.
Dude.
The Hammer owned a mine and was a huge wrestling fan. Every year he claims to have found a rave ruby in his mind and offers it up as a prize in his very own wrestling tournament with awesome balcony seats for him and his hottest miners. Yeah, the Hammer liked dicks, and who doesn't? You like your own dick, don't you? You don't mind seeing it in porn. If there wasn't a predisposition of being gay for liking dicks, we'd all shout it a little louder. And if there wasn't a negative connotation with being gay, we'd scream that shit. We'd probably wear some shirts with some dicks on them. Masculinity, preventing us from loving dicks.
That's a brilliant synopsis of what it's like to have a dick. I think he just explained it.
Yeah. I
That's
like
it.
mine. I can't see others, and if I do, I turn gay.
Yeah, man. Hey, look. I think we all have our favorite porn who has our favorite dick in it. I'm not ashamed.
You're right. He right. Try and deny him. You ain't able to.
You can't. You can't.
You can't do it.
I'm looking at my dick right now.
Anyway, as I was saying, the Rave Ruby prize awaited the victor, but every year the Hammer came up with some other reason as to why there was no Rave Ruby.
Yeah.
One time he said his dog ate it, and his dog was dead.
Aww.
Yeah, from eating the Rave Ruby, you thought, but no.
No.
Regardless, the wrestlers were always handsomely compensated in other gems, and they were okay with that. Mm-hmm. Not far into his travels, Thule heard of wrestling in a nearby tree, and then a guy who looked just like him fell out of that tree.
What?
He was almost as massive, much paler, and not as huge-dicked. He looked slightly different, as if his entire face was once broken with a club, and then he never quite healed correctly.
Poor guy. He's ugly.
Guess who, you same-looking ass bitch, said the lookalike. My long-lost brother? Guess Thule. The doppelganger spat on the ground. Shit, no, I ain't related to your ugly ass. My name is Malamo, and your ass is grass at the Rave Ruby tournament. You think you're bad, Thule? You think you can walk around this forest with your ball sack out like it ain't no thing? Thule looked, and sure enough, his sack had slipped out through his tights.
Yep.
He left it.
He's confident.
What's that?
He's a confident man. I like that.
Oh, yeah.
I really can relate to this.
Oh, he is huge dick, as I said. Mm-hmm. Feast your eyes on the heavenly body that is Malamo, said a short wizard in a blue robe as he walked out from more woods. Quiver as you look upon his snow-white pectorials. Oh, yeah. First place is almost for certain, but my Malamo is truly a prize in himself. I don't have time for this shit. He walked away and continued into the tournament because I totally wrote that part. That leads me to this next part. That's the Hammer stood at his personal balcony and yelled, "It is now time to find out why I am called the Hammer." Oh, no. The dwarf laid down on a nice rug as hot miners took their hammers and broke mine rock on his bare abs.
Oh, dude.
Beautiful gems trickled down his cut body.
Dude!
This is how we find our gems, said the dwarf. That is mildly impressive, said a goblin to a gnome. I just don't care, you know. Of course he can do that. Look at his hot bod, replied the gnome.
It's a given.
The bell had rung, and the tournament began. Wrestlers from all over grappled each other as the bodies hit the floor. A lizard man in a leather mask evaded Thule in the very first match, until Thule caught him with a super kick counter that knocked his mask off and dropped him out cold. Under the mask was...
Oh, God.
Just a lizard man, no one in particular. Okay. No one's still sure why he was wearing that mask. The tournament went on. Some music was played. Music that would make time go by quicker and perhaps sum up all the events that occurred in that time. And it might even pump you up. Unfortunately, we weren't able to experience the effect of all that due to this story being bound to tome. But alas, the final two combatants were in the ring. What a great
montage. That's the greatest montage I've ever heard. That's awesome.
You know what? Why? You know why? Because it's set to the best montage song. Your favorite.
Your favorite. Whatever one that is. Favorite. Yeah.
You know what it is for me.
What's yours?
The heat is on. The heat is on.
I have a really vivid memory of being a child and sitting in my mom's Chevy Citation listening to that song.
Nice. I sang that at karaoke recently. I loved it.
Dude, I love that song. Glenn Fry.
Karaoke. But the final two combatants were in the ring, Josh. The Great Thule and Malamo with the little wizard hype man just counting money in the Doppelgangers corner. The wrestlers grappled, but each of Thule's moves were countered by Malamo with the same exact move. How can I defeat someone who knows my every move, thought the Great One. I'll punch him with the hardest punch I ever threw.
Oh, yeah.
Thule pulled back and unleashed a vicious punch that caught nothing but air as the lookalike ducked out of the way. Didn't look that hard, you hardy-ass boy, said Malamo. However, The force of Thul's punch tore some of Malamo's face skin right out, revealing the gray skin of a mimic. The crowd gasped in awe at this, and three dudes said, "Oh, shit!" at the same time. The Hammer stood and shouted, "You know I'm racist against Trixie-ass mimics."
Trixie-ass.
"Quick, mimic, into a bone car. Let's get out of here," shouted the wizard. The mimic did as he was told, and the old man hopped in. He revved the engine and peeled out the tires cool style and sped off. But the wizard had been drinking that night and almost immediately crashed into an ancient tree. The wizard wasn't wearing his seatbelt.
Oh, no.
And died instantly.
Holy shit.
No one came to their funerals.
Oh.
The end.
This story had fucking everything. It had wrestling, it had a written montage, and it had a PSA at the end. That was a fucking unbelievably good story.
Don't tell me you didn't learn something.
I'm gonna wear my seatbelt tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear my goddamn dick in the mirror later when I'm not sad to look at it.
Wait,
what?
I just fucking spit everywhere. I just spit all over my microphone. We talked
BBC
about
Club.
dicks. What else?
BBC Club. I could say BBCC for BBC Club.
BBCC. Didn't we go to school there? We went to BBCC. Nobody knows what I'm talking about.
I do. We're friends.
We did it.
Hey everybody, thanks for listening to another episode of Fantasy Fiction.
Doppelgangers.
Oh god, what was that?
Sorry, that's my doppelganger.
Oh, a creepy wizard or something yelled at me. I just totally ruined my world.
Pee pants.
But as I was saying, thanks for listening to another episode. We hope you had fun. If you enjoyed the episode, go ahead and like it. If you're listening on YouTube, go ahead and share it, tweet it, put it on Facebook, tell your mama.
Show it to your mom. Don't do that. She'll think you're crazy.
Don't show it to your mom. You know what? Show your mom my Twitter account.
Yes.
That's a fun time.
Don't show her mine.
There's some great jokes there. At Dom Moschiti on Twitter.
Don't show your mom mine. She'll think you're crazy.
Show your dad.
Yeah.
After Dark.
Dad's After Dark.
At Henderson 1983. Have you seen this Twitter account, dude? We gotta look at it after dark.
It's PG-13.
But if you take your pants off, it's R.
Yes, hard R.
Hard R.
Hard R.
I don't know. It tickles me. I think that's really funny. Thanks for listening to another episode, everybody. We gotta say thank you. A huge thank you to our friend Yorkim, who... You need to go to a certain YouTube page right now, okay? You need to go to youtube.com/thebonesword. What is there? What's there? Mm-hmm. Some fucking music inspired by the realms of Orkspire and Daranos. Yes. He just put out a new song about glorious Thunderbeard, guys. Check it out. It's awesome. He did the Everkeg Tavern theme, the instrumental between Josh and I's stories. He's awesome. Go check him out.
It's good stuff.
He's so great. We love him. At Torzelan. Torzelan. Also, ladies and gentlemen, there is a new fantasy fiction animated.
Oh my God.
It's incredible. It was so good. It was so pretty. Everything was so cool. I loved it.
I laughed real fucking hard.
I laughed real hard. There's a real big joke in it. You gotta. It's a visual though.
Yeah,
so
that
you gotta
was
look
great.
for it.
That was really funny.
I laughed hard. I laughed hard. Go to it. You can search fantasy fiction animated treasures and yetis, or you can go to youtube.com/mbc3k for this animation by our pal, Michael Brooks Chandler. Awesome graphic artist, awesome guy, period. Check out his website, mbc3k.com.
Check
great. Him out.
It's really great. I'm looking at it right now again. I'm just scrolling.
I'll put an
through
annotation in this video, so if you're watching on YouTube, put annotations back on, you jerk.
Yeah.
Click a link.
Don't get rid of them.
Don't you dare.
Just deal with it.
Just deal with it.
Click what we want you to click.
Hey, if you want to leave a prompt for next week's episode, go ahead and do it in the comments. One prompt only. If you leave two, we'll find you, and
you get put on a list, and you know, I don't know, maybe your mom falls down the stairs.
yeah, a list of moms
get pushed down the stairs. That's dark as shit, man.
Yeah, things we're capable of if you break our rules.
You get sent to Morgo.
Or Malamo.
Or Malamo. Malamo made me want to have cookies. It sounded like Malamar.
Yeah, that's why I named him it.
That's what I thought you named it.
I was like, oh, what if a big white guy named Malamo? It's kind of weird. Another way to support the show, guys, is by leaving an iTunes review. Josh, do you have an iTunes review you want to read?
I do. I can read one. Let me open iTunes.
You know what? I got it open right here.
You read it.
I'm going to read one. This one is called If Tolkien Only Had Some of That Sweet Dizzity Dank Dub by Sick-Ass Orc Wang. Like a gentle spring breeze on your taint regions, fantasy fiction brings you something you love to a place you never feel it. Fantasy and comedy, you bet your nips. Young adventurer with genuine creativity and underappreciated genius of blue comedy mastery, Dominic and Josh bring you lands of creatures and characters you love and hate and desire sexually, like with jizz and stuff. Jizz and stuff is one word.
Jizz and stuff is one word.
Thank you. That was a great review.
That's a great review.
Time reading it.
That was really good reading of a great review.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of me reading, I did some voices on a show that you can check out.
Yeah.
It's called Ben in the Desert. Go ahead and Google search it. A friend of mine does puppets. He had this great idea, a premise for a web show with puppets about Obi-Wan killing time in the desert in between episodes.
3 and 4.
3 and 4. Okay, so it's episodes 3. But in between episodes 3 and 4, he's killing times in the desert. I did the voice of Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan doing an impression of Yoda. And I also sang the intro and outro. I'll put an annotation on here, but it's called Ben in the Desert. And hey, you know what? I'll go ahead. If you guys want us to do a voice for anything, send us an email. If we can do it, we'll do it.
Yeah, man. I'll do whatever.
Yeah, you can email us at fantasyficpod@gmail.com.
Do it.
But with that, folks, I have to say one more thing.
What's that?
Thank you for listening. And Josh, I think you got to see one more thing.
I would like to thank everyone also, but I would also like to thank everyone by saying, go see Mad Max.
Go see Mad Max. You'll be happy.
Go see it like 6 times. It doesn't matter.
Yes, I'm probably going to see it at least 6 times.
Listen to this episode 6 times and then go see Mad Max.
And buy 6 t-shirts at fantasyfiction.bigcartel.com.
Do that, please.
Do it all. And
until next week, everyone, keep on wizarding. Go see Mad Max.
Keep on wizarding if you ever want to stop. Just remember the review by Sick-Ass Orc Wang.
Jizz and stuff is totally a word.
It's one word.
Are you
listening? Look it up in Webster's Dictionary.
Holy shit. Dictionary? Dude. We're making that.
Go ahead and buy Urban Dictionary and change it to Dictionary.
Yeah, that's basically what it is, right?
Rebranding, folks. Keep on wizarding, everybody. Have a good week. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.